Hi there. I'm going to explain some of the advantages of an IVA and some of the important considerations you must take into account before deciding if an IVA is right for you. I'll go through the advantages first. Number one is lower repayments. Payments to creditors are based on what you can afford, not how much you owe. You may have seen IVA marketing saying payments from, say, £80 per month. But that is not typical, and payments depend entirely on your personal circumstances. It is untrue that some IVA providers offer cheaper payments than others. They all must take the potential IVA applicant through the same regulated process to determine affordability. Next is debt forgiveness. When that successfully completes, any remaining unpaid debt is written off by your creditors. So, if you enter into an IVA owing, say, £30,000, and you repay half over the normal 5-year IVA duration, the other half, £15,000, is written off. The next benefit is that, in an IVA, debts cannot increase further. Interest and charges are stopped on all your debts. Legal protection. Creditors cannot pursue you for their debt or take legal action. Even creditors who were not in favor of the IVA are bound by this. Next, your home is protected in an IVA. This can mean a couple of things. If you are a homeowner with a mortgage, you are allowed to budget to maintain such repayments ahead of your IVA payments, reducing the risk of a repossession or having to sell the property. Also, if, instead of an IVA, you remortgage or get a second secured loan, this increases the risk of losing the property if you can't keep up these new payments. Finally, an IVA avoids bankruptcy. If you were to go bankrupt and you were self-employed or owner of a business, you would be subject to restrictions that would make continuing to trade difficult. Okay, so far, so good. But what about the downsides of an IVA? As with any insolvency process, there are consequences. If you don't stick to the agreed terms of your arrangement, it may fail. This is the most important consideration, as this may leave you in a worse situation than before the IVA started. If your arrangement fails, your creditors could again take action against you, and interest may resume on your debts. There would also be a risk of bankruptcy if you could not come to some other arrangement. There are industry guidelines for your expenditure you have to adhere to, but you won't be expected to live in poverty. In an IVA, assets are a factor. If you have assets, then you may be asked to make these available to your IVA. If you are a homeowner, you may be asked to remortgage your property in the 5th year of your IVA to release some equity to creditors. There are many situations where a remortgage is not required, which we can explain to you. And if a remortgage is not available, an IVA can be extended for 12 months, which is generally what happens in most cases. An IVA will appear on your credit file for up to 6 years from the date it commences. During this time, it may be difficult for you to obtain credit. Being in an IVA may also cause you to fail other types of credit checks, for example, vetting for a tenancy agreement. There is no guarantee of acceptance. Creditors can reject an IVA, but there are usually specific reasons for this, and we can negotiate with creditors or even repropose the IVA if required. We do not put forward any IVAs without a high expectation of approval. An IVA is not private and entered onto a public register, but someone would need to be specifically looking for you on it to find you. So, as you can see, entering into an IVA should be given careful consideration. For full information on IVAs and other debt solutions, visit us at debtguardians.co.uk or please call us on this number. We'll be able to tell you if an IVA is a good fit for your circumstances. Bye-bye for now.